right now to give his author speech, and I want you guys to do me a favor by giving him a standing ovation. This is for him. We are all here because of this great man. You can see his suit, you can see the jacket, and by their jacket you shall know them. Congratulations, my brother. This shining is too much for our glory. Thank you so much, bro.
Right, you can all have your seat, please. All protocols duly observed. Before I go on the speech that I've written, I would just like to, say thank you to everyone. Book launch is not one of the best events to, attend, by anyone, especially the young, the youths. I can see a lot of young people here. Please put your, hands together for yourself. It's not really one of the best events. People love to go to clubs, people love to go to parties, people love to go to strip clubs, people love to go to, the exciting places, like to go there. But book launch is book launch is the place for intellectuals, people who want to, gain knowledge, people who want to learn, people who want to be immortalized, This is where you actually belong. In as much as I love to have fun, I love to play, I love all the swag, everything. I'm a very serious person. Many people don't know that. Many people don't know, but I know how to blend into anything because I went from poverty to wealth and then back to poverty, and then I said again, my life has been a topsy-turvy. My dad used to be very, very rich, like very rich, very, very rich. At the age of 17, I counted 1.8 million naira. Somewhere I didn't know it was a Ikeja then. I was very small. 8 million. I can't remember, but I know it was a million. So we were counting it then. It was this big box of a Ghana mosque, black box that has this red thing. We entered into the bank, and then they brought out this box. I saw a lot of money. That's when I knew my dad actually had a lot of money. I didn't know all this why. I don't know why he didn't send me abroad, but I guess this is why he didn't send me abroad all those years, So please put your hands together for my dad. My dad actually made me the writer I am today. While I was growing up, my dad used to punish me in quotes by telling me to read newspapers. Like, when a child of 12 years old is reading newspaper, you read newspaper to your dad, and your dad will be sleeping. I'll be reading vocabularies. I'll now jump from the first paragraph to the last paragraph. I'll tell him, I'm done. You say, are you sure? I'll read the next one. I'll be reading news, stories of SDP, NRC, But I didn't know he was building my vocabularies. He was building my writing ability, my reading ability, and he was also building the, journalism that I would later become in future. I didn't do art, I didn't do literature. I was a science student all through. My dad, because I was the only son, and I'm the first son out of 2 kids, so you know what it means. Like in Igbo, you're the first son, and then you are the only son. You understand? So my dad wanted me to do everything, wanted me to be a doctor, a footballer, an engineer. I was confused. I ended up in science class. Yes. Even though I passed my science subjects, but I didn't belong there. I went to UI, and then after 200 level, I had to just leave. The whole called family meeting for me. Everybody in the village gathered. See this boy that we put all our money into. My mom would tell me I sold my fridge just to send him to school. But everything happened for a reason, and I'm sure he's very proud of me today. This is my 6th book. I'm very sure he's proud of me. This is my 6th book, and the first book I wrote was, a long time ago. I just wrote it because I loved books, because my dad exposed me to books. So I just wanted my picture to be at the back of a book. I didn't know that I was doing something that would later, be read in over 300 schools in Lagos. I didn't know. It wasn't business for me. It was just, let me just write something, let everybody know I'm a writer. But today, for me, it's business. Our book is being sold in over 300 schools in Lagos State as I'm speaking to you right now. Yeah. Before I read my speech, I would like to introduce somebody who nobody has introduced here. And if I get home now, it will be trouble for me. You know, it will be big trouble for me because you like, Uche Chikuso, you call everybody, you did not call me. Yeah, I would like to introduce a sweetheart, my darling, somebody who's got my back in the day and night. Please, a round of applause for, please just come forward. I told you to sit in front, I don't know what you're doing there. My beautiful wife. I didn't say she come and hug me, I said she come and sit down. Sit down. Alright, yeah. So all those girls that we are still friends, we are still friends. Not many people know I'm married, you know, because of the way I behave. But don't worry, we will reconcile after this book launch. Alright, I want to thank the Hip TV guys that are here. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much for coming. I didn't know you were going to turn up like this, I swear. I didn't know. Even Mr. Ayo, I didn't know he was going to come. There's always pressure anytime he's around, so I was praying that he should not come, but I thank God that he's around today. Yeah. I also want to thank some of the artists that came here to support me, Exino, Simba, Slice Boy Entertainment. Please make noise for Mr. Slice here. Yeah. I also want to thank the ushers, the media guys. You guys have been amazing. Thank you very much for coming here. It's not easy, A lot of people have supported me before now that are not here. They've made their own donation prior to this event. So this one part two, yes. A lot of people have made. We are going to disclose that, in the course of the book launch. We're going to disclose the amount they've all made. So in order not to bore us, let me go to my speech. Today, I am very pleased to publicly present to you my 6th children book and 4th major novel titled Alibaba's Adventure. This is my 3rd book launch, and I welcome you to this memorable occasion. Today, another history has been made. This will be my 1st book launch that would have, notable people in the entertainment. Of course, you saw Harry's song. My 1st book launch, I know even near Harry, not thought of seeing Harry, but Harry's song flew all the way from Port Harcourt for this book launch, and he has come back to Port Harcourt. Please, a round of applause for Harry's song. And of course, we have people like the president, the chairman of the Copyright Society of Nigeria, Chief Tony Okoreji. It's not easy to have people like this here. Chief Tony Okoreji, please, a round of applause for Chief Tony Okoreji. We also have the CEO, Slice Entertainment, Mr. Slice. This man doesn't want to look old. He's a married man, oh. See, these are my mentors. Yeah. We also have Mr. Cornell here. Mr. Cornell is a very big goon in the entertainment industry. We also have Mr. Kaz here representing Honorable Shinopela. Honorable Shinopela actually told me 2 weeks ago that he won't be here because he is going to be, he's a honorable, so he's sitting, today in Abuja. And they just started, so it will be, somehow for him to be missing. But I'm sure he must have eluded Mr. Kaz's pocket. So he told me that he won't be here, but he asked me not to tell anyone that he won't be here. So I really respect him. He's one of my mentors too, people that I look forward to, people who are young and they're making impact. People who like to play hard and then work hard. When you see Shina Bella in the club, you feel that this one, then before you know, he's a politician and he's, he's talking about issues that bothers, our society. That's the kind of person I want to be. I want to play and then I want to also work. So this is a book launch that will have, caliber of people like that. Mr. Ayo Animashaon. Mr. Ayo Animashaon hardly goes for events. If he goes, he won't stay more than 5 minutes. I had to pin him down there. You don't come, you don't go here. You have to talk, So I'm really happy to have him here today. All right. Now, for me, this is a remarkable achievement. How did Alibaba Adventure start? Alibaba's Adventure is a book I started working on since 2015. You won't believe that. Since 2015. I didn't finish the book until 2019. Not that the book was too voluminous or too complicated. No, let me tell you why, this took so long. It took so long because of the numerous challenges I faced while, working on the book. just like my second book, A Life of Runs, I have a book called A Life of Runs. It's, on cybercrime. That's how I met the Commissioner of Police, Zubairu Muazu. He was the head of Operation EFCC back then. So I wrote a book, Alibaba's A Life of Runs, and I was wondering who I could give to write the forward, and I noticed that period EFCC was really fighting cybercrime. So I now went. I didn't know anybody there. I told my dad I'm going to see somebody in the EFCC. That's how good I can be. I'm going to see the organ in the EFCC, and I said, who is going to give you the connection? I said, don't worry, I'll just go there and I'll see him. I got there and I met somebody, who, fortunately, we went to the same boarding school, Badagry Grammar School then. And he told me, just go and see him now. If it's something that he would like, he would do it. So I went up, and he's oddly then saw me, and I said, I want to see he was an assistant commissioner of police and the ACP, the head of operation. He said, do you have any appointment? You know how these police people behave. Do you have any appointment? I said, no, I don't have any appointment, but I think this is something you would like to see. He said, okay, Ogade busy you. If you want to see you, go see you. If you don't want to see you, you just give me the ticket. And I gave him, he took it in. And after like 15 minutes, the man just said I should come in. And I came in and he said, wow, he's proud of me. He likes what I'm doing. He would like to be part of this. And then he wrote the foreword of my second book. After seeing my first book, that's how we struck the relationship. Before he now commissioned me to write a book on police. As if, somebody that was forwarding the book, we were going to his office. He's giving you money, and he's the one writing the forward. I'm not wondering, which kind of team is this one? You are doing me a favor, and then you are giving me money. He was giving me money any day I go there. Like any day I go there, I must have like 20,000 in my pocket. Like sometimes I will just go there. I don't want to come to anything. Yes, sir. I want to be yeah. So that was how we struck a relationship, and then became family friends. He knew my parents, and we became very, very very, very close. Now, just like my second book, A Life of Runs, Alibaba's adventure was firstly an idea of Batife Perez. Where is Batife Perez? This is the guy. This guy is a badass writer. I don't know why he's not bringing out his books. Please put your hands together for Batife Perez. When you have a friend of over 11 years, like this guy has been my friend for more than 11 years. Is he 15 now? We are growing old, guy. Wow. Have a friend for 15 years, We've had ups and downs, but we stuck together. That guy is a very good guy. We're partners in many things. It was firstly an idea of Batife Perez, my bosom friend, back, far back around 2010. Perez gave me a script. I'm trying to tell you the story now. Perez gave me a script he had written, saying he had no interest in the story anymore, and asked me to see what I could do with it. He wrote a story. I know his weak point. He gets to a point and everything just, I didn't really like the story when he gave me that book. So that particular script, so I just dumped it somewhere else. And then, I started writing other books. I started publishing Black Sheep and all the other ones. When I first read the story, I really didn't like it beyond the first chapter. So I just dumped the script and moved on to write my other stories. Several years later, I stumbled on the script again while I was looking for something. So I now stumbled on the script. A second glance at it gave me an inspiration to start writing Alibaba's Adventure. He didn't title it Alibaba's Adventure. It didn't end the way my story ended, but it started almost the way my own story started. I used this idea as a base to write this particular book. One thing that you must always do is to give credit to you must always give credit to people. When somebody gives you an idea, don't just own it and say, this is my idea. No, it's not just my idea. He inspired that particular idea. So, while I was writing the book and was in my third chapter, the script Perez had given to me, which I was using as a guide, mysteriously got missing at my place of work back then. I was working somewhere, then I was the admin of a particular school, and the script he gave me just got missing. I'm like, now wow, the devil is a liar, so they don't want me to write this book. I just didn't know what to do anymore. These are one of the reasons that didn't make me finish the book on time. I almost got discouraged, but the writer spirit in me kept urging me on. So I was left with only one option, to finish the book all by myself. Within 1 month, the book was completed. The book was completed, but there was no money to print and publish it, because as at then, I was faced with a lot of financial crisis, and I was also faced with the financial burden of reprinting, because I had other books. Now imagine you writing a book, you want to publish a book, you really don't have money, then you're also faced with the challenge of reprinting the other ones you have. In Nigeria, it's not really easy to get funds from the bank. And then when you get funds from the bank, they expect you to start paying the following month. So I took loan from the bank. I was reprinting my other books. I had a new book. Schools were demanding. And then when you supply to schools, schools will owe you for 3 months before you get your money. But I was just a passionate writer. I wanted people to read my work. I wanted something people would talk about when I die. It's not just about me living. But I just know that I've been reading Eze Goes to School. I've been reading Without a Silver Spoon. I've been reading Second Chance. All this, I've been reading Oliver Twist. All these books formed, the kind of writer I am today. Why can't I write something that in the next 100 years, my generation to come will be like, this was what our father, wrote. That was it for me, just to leave a legacy behind, something that my kids can go back to, and then probably if they have friends who can invest, and they invest, and then publish, and then reprint. People will keep reading. If you get past the primary stage, other primary kids will come in and they'll keep reading. So, I was faced with a lot of financial challenges then. So, for 3 years, I was stuck with paying back loans, paying publishing partners, like I don't like owing. So, my partners, after 3 months, I must make sure I fulfill the agreement. Either I get the money from somewhere. If school should give me an excuse, but I must make sure I pay my publishing partners. So I was stuck in between all those things and also picking my life together. Finally, in 2019, the story changed and Alibaba Adventure was born. Please put your hands together for me. All right. Now, Alibaba's Adventure is a book that shows how adventurous, fearless, and brave an average kid can be. How kids love to live larger than life, and how their bravery could sometimes turn their lives around. The story was plotted in the northeastern part of Nigeria, which was why I dedicated the book to every kid in the northeast who has been deprived a normal life through the activities of terrorists. Terrorism is bad and we must condemn it no matter where it's happening. Don't say because it's happening in the north that it's not your problem, they should kill themselves. No. A friend, Superior Moazu is not from the east, but he's from the north. He's a friend of mine. He's like a family to me. Should I rejoice because something is happening in the north? No. So, however you see it, there will be a ripple effect at the end of the day if we continue to condone terrorism. Thank you, Paris. Now, the book was also dedicated to CP Superior Moazu, the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, who has been like a father to me since I met him in 2009. The foreword of the book was written by Honorable Shinopela, the king of nightlife, whose support for the youth knows no bound. The preface was written by Professor Yusuf Dankofa, Deputy Dean Faculty of Law, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Up to today, I've never met this man. We just communicate on Facebook. That's how life is, but he has impacted my life from far. Now, this speech will not be complete without me mentioning my boss, CEO, Smooth Promotion, Executive Producer, Hip TV, Ayo Animation, who gave me this suit I'm wearing. Mr. Ayo actually gave me this. I told him I was going to wear this suit on my book launch, and he said, why you don't want to wear that shanshati? I said, don't worry, you will understand, but it means a lot to me. So he gave me the suit I'm putting on today. Mr. Ayo might have his shortcomings. We all know Hip TV staff, he has his shortcomings, you understand? He might have his shortcomings, but you cannot take that credit away from him. He's a great person. I used to read Hip Hop World magazine, and from far, I used to, because I love books, so I said, one day when I'm going to print something like that, I'm going to do something like this. Although the dream has changed because, magazines and newspapers, really don't sell that much. It's now electronic and all that. But back then, I used to read Hip Hop World magazine, and I loved the fact that Hip Hop World magazine was changing the face of entertainment. It wasn't like what we used to see regularly. So we had innovation, something creative, something wonderful. So I loved it, and I wanted to work for Hip Hop World magazine before they had Hip TV. So it was a long time dream for me to work in Hip TV. It wasn't like I was looking for a job somewhere else. No, I'm somebody who really don't like to work for people. I don't like to work for people, you know. So, but when Hip TV came calling, I told my wife, I said, even if I'm going to work there for free, I don't mind. You understand? Because I knew what I was going to gain by working in Hip TV. Hip TV provides you the platform to meet people who matters in the industry. That's what a lot of you don't know. So when I went there, I didn't go to work for money. I didn't go to work for the salary. You know, I went there to work because I wanted to network. I wanted to meet people who mattered in the industry. That was my own driving force. So salary comes early, it doesn't come early. It really wasn't, you know, bothering me. Why? Because I knew what I was gaining. I knew what I was seeing. I'm a businessman, first of all, so I knew what that platform could actually do for me. So Hip TV provides everybody that platform to network and meet people who matters in the industry, and to also project and sell your own dream to them, like I'm doing right now. Please put your hands together for Hip TV. I want to say this: if you're in Hip TV and you're not successful, I don't know how successful you're going to be. I'm not talking about financial, I'm not talking about, you know, direct success. I'm talking about how you spread your tentacles to make sure that you use the platform to also benefit yourself. That's what I'm talking about. You can criticize me after this if you like. Alright, now, having said this, I appeal to you today to support me. Since the launch of my first book, Little Maria, in 2007, I have been to over 300 schools, like I earlier said, where I held seminars on child abuse. That book has currently sold over 12,000 copies. My first book has sold over 12,000 copies, despite the financial challenges. The book has also been approved by the Lagos State Ministry of Education. This is a sign that your donation today will not be in vain. Rather, it will be invested into more books, which would help improve the reading culture amongst our kids in Nigeria as a whole. My next book is going to be larger in volume. This is going to be the smallest book I'm going to write in a long time. I'm moving on to something big. My next book is going to be larger in volume than my previous book. It's meant for mature readers. It's a book that would center on life in the prison. I'm not going to mention the title of the book now. It would require me to visit several prisons and interview several prisoners and ex-convicts. Funds will be needed for that research. Your support for me today is a support for billions of kids around the world, billions of book lovers. It's a support for education. It's a support for the future. Thank you.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, can you give it up for the author of this fantastic book, The Adventure of Ali Baba? Awesome, awesome. Wow. Great.